We're glad that you're here tonight. This is Sharon coming to you from Northern Virginia, and I'm excited to be able to come to you. I missed you guys last week, but it was coming up to, it was the end of the month. There was a lot of stuff going on, and so I just took liberty and the advantage of saying, okay, we're going to take a little bit of break, okay? And you guys did pretty good. Hung in there. And hello, first class. Okay, I need to know your name. And Valencia Keeve, I see you. And Florence, I see you. Judith, you now are on by phone, so we don't have a visual of you. But I just want to welcome everybody tonight, and glad that you've taken time out of your schedule to come on. And I don't know whether you're getting on because you just, want to, whether the subject matter for tonight is what drew you here, or whether you just like to come on and, mingle with everybody that's on here. So I'm excited to come to you this evening. And the topic that we are going to tackle tonight is one that really can be the difference between you having a business and not having a business. So closing the sale, it's you start the conversation with the individual, quite honestly. And we have to recognize some of the nuances associated with closing the sale. But at the end of the day, and you'll see it in the presentation, closing the sale is really all about building a relationship, okay? Because when the person likes you, she will listen to you. When she trusts you, she'll be your customer. So the only way that you can get to that end result, which is closing the sale and building a long-term client, because at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I don't want just a 1 month wonder. I don't want a person to just buy from me one time and never come back. I want a customer for life. And it is when we have those lifelong customers that we really get into the mode of building a strong business. Hello, Florence. Good to see you. And Florence is saying hello to everyone. Hey, Ann Morgan. Good to see you as well. And just want to remind everybody before we get started tonight that we have started a new and improved quick start program. Okay. So for those of you that are existing consultants, what you want to do to be able to get in on what we've got going on is to start bringing new people in, okay? Start sharing your why story, start sharing your products, get in contact with people that love the products and introduce the business to them. And you are going, as the sponsoring consultant, you're going to be able to make cash. You can make as much as $300 cash money in the person that you bring in their first 60 days, if you get them and show them how to be able to do $500 in their first 60 days, okay? And the way it works, so I'll just tell you a little bit about, because in case you guys missed it. So when you recruit a new consultant, that new consultant in her first 60 days is, if she does 300, she can get $25 in free product. If she does 500, she can get $50 in free product. If she does it, and this is over a 2-month period, so her first 60 days, because what we found is that if a person gets jumped off and started correctly in their first 60 days, you got a solid business owner, okay? And so the new consultant comes in and is able to get free product to start building her inventory, to be able to either use it for marketing campaigns or to resell it, okay? So 300 gets her 25, 500 gets her 50, 1,000 gets her 100, and 1,500 gets her $150 in free product. You as a sponsoring consultant, as long as you stay active in those 60 days, so one consultant is going to get you $25 cash that they do $500. So the magic number is $500 over 60 days, or $250 in sales each month during their first 60 days. If you get 2 people to do that, you're going to get $65 in cash. If you get 3 people to do that, you're going to get $125 in cash. And if you get 4 people to do it, you're going to get $200 in cash. And if you get 5, you're going to get $300 in cash. And for every new consultant, every consultant that you bring in, 6, 7, it doesn't matter. There is no limit in terms of what you can do. You just keep adding another $100 into your pocket, okay? So the new consultant gets the benefit of free product. You as a sponsoring consultant gets the advantage of cash money. And the only thing you have to do is stay active, but there are benefits to you. If you've got somebody coming in and they're doing that kind of volume, you then want to make sure that you are understanding and following the compensation plan. So you don't want to just do the minimum of 100 because you want to be able to get the extra bonuses and other commissions associated. So we're not going to get into that tonight. And I'll encourage everybody to go back and review the compensation plan training that we did several weeks ago, where we took you from being a consultant all the way up to an executive manager. Okay. So anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So let's go ahead. Any questions before we get started? Any questions? Okay, that's okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it because I'm not going to keep you all long tonight. And I am going to start sharing my screen. And we are ready. Closing the sale equals cash deposit. Not just cash deposits anywhere, but cash deposits in your account, your PayPal account, your checking account, your savings account, okay? And so,
That's what I just said.
okay, and we are, if
What's the
we,
matter?
let me see if I can mute everybody.
Will respect me. I don't want to respect people.
Okay, we're gonna mute everybody just so that we can keep the line clear. Hold on, let me see how we're going to do that. Okay, so I think that may, I don't know who it is that, so I'm going to, so if you've got any noise on in your background and I have not muted you and you've got noise, go ahead and mute yourself, okay? So hey, Tahira, I didn't see you come in. Good to see you as well. Okay, so closing the sale really does equal cash deposits. And tonight it's about, I'm gonna share with you some basic, simple, easy techniques and things that you just have to do to be able to get good at closing the sale. And then wanna hear any challenges that you may be having today. You know, have you had bad experiences repeatedly where you've gone through the process and then did not get the sale? Because I rest assured that there is a reason why that did not happen, okay? So, but anyway, let's keep going. So selling is something that most people are intimidated by. The whole notion of selling makes people sweat. It makes their palms sweat. It makes them get nervous because they feel like they're being pushy, or they don't like rejection, or something about the selling. But think of selling as nothing different from serving someone. You invite someone over to your home for dinner, and you're not going to tell them to, okay, well, I'm glad you're here, but the food is in the refrigerator. If you want something, the pots and pans are in there. No, you're going to serve them. And the same thing applies to selling. When you are wanting to get a customer, you want to serve them. You want to show them the best of who you are. You want to show them that you have something that is worth laying on a platter, that is going to be put into their hands, that will change the landscape of their skin, how people see them, how they feel about themselves. So when we are selling, we really are asking a person, how can I be of help? How can I serve you? And if you think of it in that sense, okay, and you are simply sharing something that can be of a help or benefit to her, the whole notion of selling will no longer become intimidating, okay? But when we talk about the closing, when we talk about closing the sale, by the time you get to the end, but you're going to see as we go through this presentation that the closing starts at the very beginning. You are closing from the time that you introduce yourself to them and start talking to them about the product, because you're saying something about yourself. You're saying something about your product. Your body language is saying something. But at the end of the day, what you are doing in the process of closing is building a relationship. If you are not building a relationship, if you're not connecting with that individual, you can rest assured by the time you get to the end of the conversation, nothing's going to happen. Anybody can attest to that? Okay, I know you do. I know you do without asking. Okay. 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 So if anybody that's got, okay. All right, let me see where we got. Let's see who's not muted. Okay, whoever is not muted, please do so. Let's see if I can mute everybody. If you got noise going on, we just ask that you mute yourself, because I don't know whether I needed to mute everybody before we started or if I can do it after. Okay, all right. So, but it's all about relationships. And the key to the heart is the ear. As a beauty consultant, a beauty influencer, it is most important that you practice the 70-30 rule, okay? And I still find where the culprit is. Hold on.
Is it me? Is it me?
See,
Sharon, this is
I
Sylvia.
don't know. Are you unmute?
It's
Yeah.
the
So
person with the iPhone and or 202, there's a phone number that ends in 741.
yeah, but I muted them.
No.
It's the iPhone person, whoever iPhone is.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
who
have the
is-
iPhone, but it's not that number.
Yeah. So
I'm in
then
a-
go
I'm
ahead
in a-
and go ahead and mute out, Sylvia. Let's see.
Okay, I don't know how to do that because the way it's set up, I just see you. But I don't think that, I just clicked on
let
it.
me see who is unmuted, because normally it'll show me.
Yes,
the noise is-
510-305-3696.
I can't see the number.
Oh, I see, okay.
It's the iPhone directly underneath you, Sharon.
Yeah, but you're underneath me
Yeah,
on my
it's
screen.
above you. Okay.
Yeah, so it shows differently on different screens. It
There's
sounds
only-
like maybe that stopped it. Okay. So, but wait a minute, let's go back. All right, so we need to practice the 70-30 rule. And that is to speak 30% of the time and to listen 70% of the time. It is so important in the process of closing and developing that relationship and getting the person to the point where they're ready to purchase what you've shared with them, to be mindful of what they're saying, because the client, the potential client, is giving you signals throughout the whole conversation. She's saying things that you got to pick up on, and you got to, if you're talking and not listening, you're going to miss it. Okay. So the key to the person's heart, most people end up being surprised when the person walks away or says, yeah, well, I'll think about it. I'll come back after you've done a full face makeover or you have analyzed them with color or whatever. But at the end of the day, she was telling you all along, but you may not have been listening. So start thinking in terms of, you ask questions, you listen. She asks questions, you answer the question, and then you listen. Let her be the one. So you listen the majority of the time and speak only 70-30. Keep that 70-30 rule in terms of speaking versus listening. The key to the heart is the ear, okay? And what most of us don't realize is that the closing the sale starts at the beginning. We miss it. So when you start the process, it's going to be important that you know your product, okay? And don't think, for those of you that are new, or you're coming back and you really haven't gotten into the swing of things, don't get hung up on what you don't know. Get the tools and the documents that you need that will help you. There is a document on insidecolorme.com under marketing and selling tools, under client care, that's called the problem solutions sheet. And the majority of us will struggle with really knowing what skincare to recommend, when you're new, based on the different skin types and the skin conditions, the customers. So even if you don't know the product where you can talk about it fluidly, because you've embraced it, you've used the products and all that, that'll come. Then have yourself positioned where you at least have a document that you can refer to. A customer will much more appreciate you having a document that will guide you so that you sell her and introduce the right product to her, than to try to play like you know what you're doing and what you're talking about and put her in the wrong regime, okay? And so much of it is, again, being a good listener and getting yourself equipped to ask the correct questions. And if you do that, you will begin to hear, you will know before you get to the end of your time with the individual, whether you have a sale or not, and really what that sale is going to look like, okay? So the close starts the beginning, just remember that, all right? So what are the questions that you, and there are many, you don't have to ask all of these, but you could, in some form or fashion. But what I put on here are really the typical questions that have been asked, that I've asked, that always get me the information that I need to put me on the right path to closing the sale. Because it is true that when you solve a problem, the sale is going to come. Never fails. So some of the questions that you should memorize and just, kind of get in your head to be able to ask a person when you are starting the dialogue. So, what's your number one skin concern? And, don't ask it in a rigid kind of way. You're just having a conversation. Beginning, you remember we talked about relationships. So, after you've introduced yourself and you tell people what what the business is that you're doing, then you say, do you have any skin concerns that you would like to share? Because I may be able to steer you in the right direction, but what's your number one skin concern? That will always get you in a place where you will know which products to start talking about first, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be the extent of everything, but it's gonna get you in the right path, okay? If a person says to you that their number one skin concern is acne breakout, you're not gonna all of a sudden jump and start putting lip gloss on her because that's not what she said her number one concern is. Her number one concern is acne or breakout. So at that point, you would say, you know what? So let's talk about, and let me show you the products that I have had great success with individuals that have the same concern as you. And then you go through that process. Another question that you can ask, is there anything about your skin or makeup that I can help you with today? Okay. Again, building that relationship. People always like to feel that you are serving them and that you want to help them. And so they will, and when the individual answers this question for you, it's going to guide you right away, because here's the deal. Whatever the answers are to these questions, that's where you begin with solving that issue, because these questions are going to force the customer to identify what she most likely is in the market for on this particular day, okay? And most times when people walk away and you're not able to close the sale, it's because you've either confused her and introduced too many products to her at one time, so she doesn't know which way to go, okay? Or she's told you what her number one what her concern is, and you have started her down a path with something completely on the other side of what she's looking for. So by the time you get to it, she's worn out, okay? So it's important that you begin the whole process, the products you're talking about, the products you're demonstrating, everything should be predicated on the answers to these questions, okay? Another question could be, if you had a magic wand, you're talking to the client, what would you change about your skin or makeup? If she's, she could say nothing, I'm happy with my skin. And that's gonna lead you in a direction as well, because people that generally are happy with their skin, you've gotta find voids, holes in what they're using, okay? In order to make sure that you're able to close the sale. Another good question to ask people when you're working with them is, what products are you using to take care of your skin? Okay, because if the person says to you that they're using, let's say, Neutrogena, or a person tells you that they're using Chanel or Clarins, or that's going to give you an idea of kind of what their level of expectation is, both in price point as well as prestige or lack of prestige, or just ease of shopping. A lot of times if a person says to you that they're using, products out of let's say they're going to CVS or Walgreens, that could be an indication that the person is more of an independent shopper. So they're not all that excited about salespeople, wherein a person that's shopping with Chanel or Clarins or Estee Lauder or Clinique, they like the idea of having a beauty consultant. So you have a chance to be able to get in there and be able to do it. That's not to say that the person that's shopping for the mass market brands, that you can't convince her. You just got to meet her where she is in terms of making sure that the price point offer value. Okay. Again, listening to the messages that the client is giving to you. Okay. And then this last one is key. Okay. How do you prefer to shop? And this is a casual, question. Do you like shopping in store or online? Because what the answer that she gives you to this question is going to help you know how you're going to close her and how you're going to deal with her post this initial encounter, okay? And you can rest assured, if a person says to you that they prefer to shop online, they may have already gone onto our websites before she meets with you to know about promo codes and all that. So you have to be mindful of that and play into that, okay? So the worst thing to do is to, a person that tells you that they're used to shopping online and you ignore that piece of it. And then you write down the list of everything and you give her regular price products. People that shop online know sale prices. They know what is selling for on Amazon. They know what is selling for everywhere else. So you have to be able to be mindful of that. And it's okay. Some of your clients may be in-person shoppers where you can, move your inventory if you're an inventory consultant, and other clients are going to be more independent. And basically what you want to do is keep them abreast of what's happening, make sure that they know about the best promo code, be the first one to let them know, or get them signed up so they can get the emails after you register them and get them connected where they are your consultant, where they're your customer, okay? So these are really the core questions that you want to be asking while you are having the intro conversation. And, some of these, like how do you prefer to shop in store or online? You could be asking that question while you're working with her, with her skincare, or whether when you're showing her how to do a hand demo, so at what point in the conversation and the relationship building process, you can determine kind of where that is. But that is just important that you ask that question. That's why I made it number 5 out of the 5 questions, because that question you don't have to ask that at the very beginning. It's more important you to find out what her skin concern is there anything that she wants to change about her skin, and what products you use. Those are more critical questions to ask on the front end of the encounter than the preferring to shop online, because it wouldn't even make sense for you to ask that question at the beginning of the conversation. But you want to get to that before you get ready to close, okay? So that you are, you pretty much can gauge what you're dealing with, okay? So what's your selling style? And while this is important to know, it's really more important for you to understand and to pick up on the signals of what your client's buying style is and how she likes to work with her influencer, her sales consultant. Okay. So are you a dynamic salesperson where you've got energy and drive and you're all about making the sale and you're confident, you got a lot of energy, you're real persuasive? What are you? You'd be interested to know. Matter of fact, I'd like to hear from you, you know, what you think you are. Okay. Are you more of an analytical salesperson, selling style, where you go straight to the solution? You would have analytical person, you're gonna read the whole training manual before you start doing anything. Okay. And then when you, the thing that you have to be careful with as an analytical selling person, that you don't choke the person on information. Okay. Are you an interpersonal selling style consultant, where for you, it's about building relationships? Okay. And sometimes the interpersonal person can be a little bit too chatty, and because they're so comfortable and so concerned about growing a relationship that they, you know, tend to give out, you know, there's too much, that 70-30 flips, and you're doing more talking than you are listening. Okay. So no matter what your selling style is, you just need to make sure that your selling style does not interfere with the style of the customer, because she has one too. Okay. And here's something to think about it. So think about the dynamic selling style. It's got a lot of energy and, you know, kind of persuasive and wants to close the sale. The dynamic client style wants you to give them the facts, give them the big picture, respect their judgment, and support them in reaching their goals, and cope with, meaning listening to details that you really may not care about, but you got to sit there and listen. 70-30, remember? And cooperate with them fully. Okay. Because they generally are going to be a thought leader, and they're going to want to be more in control. And the thing that gets them most upset with us is if we're too slow in making the presentation, because again, they are, you know, they almost are closers themselves. Okay, so you got to be aware of that. They will have problems with us getting in the way of what they're trying to do. Talking too much, they're not going to like that. And you trying to be in control or wasting their time. Okay, so we have to, so this is where it becomes a real balancing act, and it's a very delicate balancing act, because we have our own personality and our selling style, but we must let the client's style take over, where we are kind of bending to their rules. Because the question is, do you want them to leave happy? And do you want to leave happy? Okay. And them being happy means they're satisfied, they love you, you know, they're happy, and you happy because they've given you their credit card. Okay. Now the customer that's more analytical, okay, she's gonna want us to give them specific information, not beating around the bush and giving no long detail. They're gonna ask for, they're gonna want you to ask for their opinion. They're going to not want to be interrupted. They're going to want you to treat them with respect, and they're going to want you to do quality work for the first time. So if you mess up with them on their first time, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get another chance. Okay. And what gets them most upset is you trying to rush them. Okay. Not giving them enough time. If you're vague in your communications, like, you know, they said, well, what's the main ingredient in the product? And you beat around the bush and say, well, what difference does that make? Whoo! End of the sale right there. Okay, you might as well just pack your stuff up and go home. Okay, and they do not want a consultant that's going to confuse them with too many choices. So again, you see how this, you know, while we have our own personalities and our styles, but so does the customer. And at the end of the day, we have to kind of not kind of, but we have to really adhere to them. And the best salespeople pick up very quickly, the best closers pick up very quickly on these styles, and you'll be able to pick it up right away, right from the conversation. You're going to be able to find the client that is more, wants you to take control. So here you go. Okay, so interpersonal, that person is going to want us to listen to them and give them an opportunity to speak, to admire their achievements. So, that's getting to know them, to be influenced by them in some kind of way. Okay, and to take care of the details for them. Okay, so a person that's interpersonal is probably going to not want to be bothered. They want you to make sure that the product is ordered and to them on time, and valuing their opinions and offering alternatives. Okay, and this particular client is going to get most upset with us when we are too task oriented, like we on the phone talking with them while we're trying to do their makeup or their skincare analysis, confining them to a limited selection, putting them in a box where they you're not willing to flex with them in terms of putting the group of products that they say that they want together, or that you're not interested in them personally. People pick up on those kinds of things. You pick up on it when you're dealing with people, right? Compete. They're not gonna want a consultant that is going to compete for their attention, okay, or to seem judgmental or talk down to them. And I bet you everybody that's on this call has had an experience with a salesperson that works, or a client that fits into all of these categories. We'll talk about it later, okay? So the bottom line is, when we're talking about our products, really, no matter what personality style that client has, you share the basic features and benefits, and you'll never go wrong. Okay, you just give them the basic facts. The product is specific for their skin condition, their skin type, and maybe you share a little bit about how, if you using the product, that's going to be great, because when they're looking at you, they're going to expect you to be a product of the product and to be an example of what they could be. So it's important that you're not sitting there talking about a product and then they ask you if you've used it before, and you say, well, no, I've never tried that before. You should try every single product that you're promoting, okay? Whether it's a part of your daily regime or whether it's something that you try just to see how it feels. So even if you are not using the product on a day in and day out basis, every product that you're promoting, you should have had a relationship or an experience with it, whether you use it on your hands or your décolleté or your face or your eye area, because that is going to go a long way, or it's going to take you back if the person asks you about the product and you have absolutely no idea. They ask you if it's a serum or a lotion, and you say, you know what, I don't know what it is. Okay, that would be a no. Okay, and then the benefit. How does it meet the need for each client? And it's really good to speak specific to the benefit for them, as opposed to, talking pie in the sky and talking about how many hundreds of customers you have that are using it and having success with it. That may have some validity in the scheme of things, but it's more important to make the benefit of the product personal to the individual that you're working with. Okay, and doing one-on-ones with our clients is really probably the best way to get started, because when you're doing groups, there's a lot of dynamics going on with that, and you have to once you learn how to deal with one, you can deal with two, and then you can deal with three. Okay, but you are the consultant. Clients love to get personal with us as experts, and as a matter of fact, they trust us to teach them, to help them understand the importance of skincare and how to apply their makeup. Okay, and I talk to a number of consultants that are coming into the business, and they say, well, I want to learn how to do makeup. Well, that's great, and you should, but don't let that be a hindrance to at least getting started. There's so much information. We've got videos online. You can go on YouTube. I mean, there's nothing that you can't find a tutorial on, that will help you get better. And the best place and best person to practice on is yourself. Okay, get yourself to the point where you know you are able to create the look that you want, and then when you can do yourself, you can do somebody else. When you have created the regime and the products are working for you, you're going to be able to suggest those products to people that have similar kinds of skin type and skin conditions as you. Okay, and just some of the one-on-one tips. You know, of course, now with COVID, you know, we're not really doing group gatherings. At least I'm not. I'm not sure what you are, but you know, once we get out of COVID, you know, anytime that you are scheduling a time to meet with a client, ask them to invite one or two of their friends over. Okay. One thing that works for that is it gives you an opportunity to be able to get as many sales as you have people. Okay, with people, and it gives you an opportunity to get other people excited, you know, kind of in one space. And then those 2 or 3 people, even if it's just one, that one person or the 2 or 3 people, their network is going to expand out far and wide, because one of the most important things that we can do as consultants is build our clientele. That's how our business is going to grow from month to month, from year to year. Use the problem solution sheet. You know, all of you should be going to Inside right now and downloading that so you can get it. We have one for flooring. We also have one for Color Me Beautiful and Adrian Arpel. Keep it simple, okay? You know, you don't want to make anything seem difficult. You know, you don't, you know, and you don't want to make the client feel like it's going to take them 5 hours to use the products that you've gotten. You know, most women today, you know, are time sensitive, they're time crunched. And so you want to show them how to be able to get the absolute most gorgeous look and the best skin doing a basic regime. Okay. And, you know, have a day regime and a night regime. You have to be a product of the product. If you're not a product of the product, you will stand, you will be in a place where it will be very difficult for you to really build a strong, lasting business, okay? You may get somebody, you may look up and get somebody one time, but if you're not a product of the product, you're gonna have a difficult time really getting people excited about it, because people can read through fake. They can read through, you know, kind of a canned speech, something that you've learned or you've heard somebody say. Give your clients an incentive to purchase from you again or to refer people to you, okay? So one-on-one, you wanna make sure that you are maximizing your time with the client so that when you are, when you're closing, you are walking away with everything that you need. So it's not just about, yes, you're gonna get product sales, but you're also gonna get referrals, and you're going to, you know, get really satisfaction knowing that you've got a client that is ultimately satisfied and that you now have gone from being strangers to starting to forge a relationship that could turn into a lifelong friendship, okay? Always, when you're doing your one-on-one, you know, suggest to add on, talk regimes. When you are, you know, talking about skincare and closing the sale, let the customer tell you to take things away. So when you have figured out what her skin concern is and what she's identified as what she wants you to help her correct and fix, show her everything in the regime that is going to help her with it. And when I say everything, I'm talking about in a regime, a cleanser, a toner, a moisturizer, an exfoliator, an eye treatment, a serum, maybe for daytime, and a night product. Okay, so you could conceivably have, you know, 6, 7 products that you are discussing with her, and let her decide, you know, how she's going to, you know, if she wants to leave out some, get some now and some later, let her do that. But it's our responsibility as a part of the serving capacity and being a good beauty influencer for the customer to show her everything that will be beneficial for her, not just creating anything, putting any kind of regime, but a regime that will be specific to creating a solution for her, okay? So what happens after the close, okay? Well, what happens after the close is as important as the beginning portion of the close. And we always say in this business that so much of the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay. So, and we call this the 3-3-3 system. Okay. 3 days after she's been using the product, you need to be in touch with her. To just find out how, if there's anything that needs to be addressed in terms of how she's using the product. Now is the time to deal with it. It's nothing worse than the person not enjoying the product only because she's using it wrong. She just misunderstood how she was supposed to use it. But find out how the product is working for her. Is she, how are they enjoying it? Is she starting, is she using it twice a day? If she's not, remind her that she needs to, because if she's using her skincare properly, most everything except for her night products, she will be using, every day. And this is the perfect time to address any concerns, make it a easy and a smooth and comfortable environment for her to share with you if anything is happening that is not positive for her. If she's having any problems, now is the time to address it. And you and me as the beauty influencer, the same enthusiasm that we had getting her to purchase the product, if she has a problem, we have the same enthusiasm to help her get the problem corrected, okay? Whether it's an exchange or return, whatever it is, okay? We have to be willing to do that. And remember to solve the skincare concerns and address any specific skin condition. Make sure that after you have done that 3-day, after she started using the product, follow up, send them a thank you note. Okay. And today I know I don't have time to put stuff, write it out. So e-cards, there are so many different platforms that you can use that are free, where you can use, or you can just send them a thank you email with their receipt or something that lets them know that you appreciate them shopping with you and supporting your business. And by all means, every person that you meet, whether they end up purchasing from you or not, the fortune will be in your ability to be able to contact them after the sale, okay? And so add them to your personal mailing contact list. And if you miss that from the initial conversation, we should really be getting that information on the front end. But if you missed it, this is a great time. So it's not over. If you miss it on the first time, you have the opportunity to be able to do that when you do that follow-up, okay? And then the second 3 is 3 weeks. Okay? Just to check in. Linda, is that you making noise?
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. My fault.
That's okay. So check in with your client again after 3 weeks, just to see, girl, I know, what kind of results are you seeing? Are people complimenting you on your skin? And if she's using the products right, and if you put her in the right products, she's going to see a difference. And you're going to, the people that she is seeing is going to see a difference. It's nothing better than for your client to call you and say, you know what, I just, the vitamin C capsules are absolutely amazing, or the My Everything cream, or the not the Swiss Formula Day cream, but the skin correction complex. I've seen my skin is looking brighter or clearer, so all those things, and capture that. So, when a person volunteers and tells you how good the product is working for them, ask them to record a video for you so you can post that on social media, get their permission to be able to do that. But those are the kinds of things that are going to help us to be able to, not just that we are going, that we are servicing both that client, but also we are looking out for the growth and the expansion of our business. That 3 weeks is a good time to really begin to sample her with something new, to let her try, but perhaps something that she did not get, give her some, let her try it and get an experience with it. And don't ever forget, always take the opportunity to ask them to share you with their friends and get permission to give you, because really one of the things that I found, if most time when people say, yeah, I'll let people know about you, they really don't do that. But what you want to do is ask them to get in contact with their family, friends, and ask them if they can share their contact information with you. That's really what you want them to do, because what you want to really be able to do is to get the client really, so that the onus is not on her to have to do the follow-up with the potential client. So all she needs to do, and it's real simple. She calls her friend and say, hey, you know what? I've got a brand new beauty consultant with Color Me Beautiful and Floria Roberts and Adrienne Arpel. She's fantastic. And I told her that I would, I was going to support her by sharing her with other people that I knew liked great skincare and makeup. Can I give her your email address? And she'll, she won't overload you with stuff, but she'll be in touch with you and maybe share some information and perhaps contact you for an appointment. That's all you want to do. Okay. So, and if you miss it, if you don't get a chance to get that information in 3 weeks, when it's time for the replenishment, don't forget to ask then, okay? So in 3 months, by that time, your client should be running a low or out of their skincare, okay? If they're using it on a regular basis, they should be close to in, and it's time to replenish. And whether you believe it or not, if you are not making that contact, if that person that you have closed with is not on the email list where she's getting marketed to on your behalf from Color Me Beautiful and Floria Roberts. And if you haven't been in contact with her and heard from her in 4, 5, 6 months, guess what? 9 times out of 10, she's gone. Okay, she has moved on. Someone else has convinced her to start shopping with them. So you have to stay front of mind if you want that customer to be yours long-term. So the 3-3-3, the 3 days after they start using the products, the 3 weeks after they've been using the products, and the 3 months, once you do that 3-month follow-up, you can then begin to put them on a systematic way of following up with them. Emails, text messaging, phone calls, or messaging them on social media or something. Just, hey, how you doing? Just checking in to see how you're doing. You don't even have to ask her about products, because a lot of times when they are your solid customer, they'll say, oh girl, you know what? I'm glad you got in contact with me. I need to re-up and get some other products. Okay. So that's really what closing, it starts at the beginning. We got to remember the 70-30 rule, that we listen 70% of the time and talk 30%, okay? And then we ask those key questions to get that process started. And then we adhere to the answers to that questions by starting out sharing the features and the benefits of those products that are most important to her, and get her closed on those products before you move on to the next. So when a person tells me that they've got problems with their skin, I show them the products, talk about the features and benefits, share, in some personal story, whatever, how the experience that I've had with the product, and say, now you're going to have to use it twice a day for it to do what it's supposed to do. Are you willing to do that? So you can ask, again, ask questions, because you want to make sure that she is ready to really begin to use the product. And when you're asking those questions in a silent little way, her answers is going to tell you whether you're going to be closing her at the end of that conversation, or whether she's going to be hedging a little bit. Okay, so it's better to know in that first subset of groups of products before you go on to something else. Okay. All right. So now that we have gotten past that, so in closing, and then the next thing, I want to just kind of hear some of the challenges that you guys may have, and let's talk about them. So encourage is not the absence of fear. It is simply the willingness to take action despite what you fear. And I know that a lot of people just are afraid of the whole concept of selling, because they have been either taught or just had a bad experience. But just force yourself, just be willing to take action despite what you fear. Have that courage to be able to try getting an appointment, having a conversation with somebody, doing a virtual appointment, however you need to do it in the environment that we're in. Because people, I'm starting to take appointments now because I got my shot. I'm asking my clients if they've got theirs, I'll work with them. If they don't, call me when you get your last shot. Okay. So, but at any rate, that's the story. So top sales professionals understand that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So if you set yourself up. Again, if a person likes you, they will listen to you. They may not even know you. Matter of fact, they won't know you. But when they trust you, they'll buy from you. Okay. So now it's time. What's your struggle in closing? So unmute and let's talk for a minute. And we're going to be off here and hopefully by 9.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So I was doing a headshot today. Well, actually, a couple of them. So anyway, the last girl, we had a change again. It's the lipstick, right? And luckily, I have a whole bunch of them there because what they had wasn't, doing it. It's just not quite right. So anyway, she put it on. It looked better. That was one plum sherbet. And then when we had to switch to another top that was really white, we needed something more deeper. And then we went with, what's the other deeper one? Dusty Rose. So. And I told her, I said, these really look great. Do you wear this? Do you wear that lip color? Do you wear the blush a lot? She's like, yeah, I do. I said, they go really, really well with that. I said, and I do sell these if you decide you want to purchase it. Remember, I'm there doing her headshots. I make a much bigger sale off of that. So it's a fine line. You don't want to push, right? But I did say to her, do you have any of these, any lip colors in this range? And her answer was no.
Mhm.
So I think for me, the best thing is once her would deliver her headshots to then just sort of maybe remind her again. But because it puts me in a weird spot. You don't want to be like hawking the makeup when you're the headshot photographer. But I know that it made a big difference, and she could see it too, right, in the photos.
Yeah. So, but what would be your hesitation to say, to say, well, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and get you set up where you can, start using the colors that we use today, tomorrow?
Okay. So
Why wouldn't you say that?
I guess I feel awkward while I'm there doing her headshots. I feel
Right,
like
but wait, but you weren't feeling awkward when you put the colors on her.
no, because
Okay.
all the other, you're raising a good. This is good. Good mental therapy here. Because as a photographer and an image consultant, I see that her colors aren't cutting it. I said, you see how you look washed out here versus this.
Yes, and
And
she
so
saw that.
she saw that. She's like, yeah, okay. So then, yeah, what's the deal? Why aren't they buying that? Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So then
because you're
well,
not asking them. You're not.
well, I did say I do. I said I do have these if you decide you want to purchase.
Yeah, but all you did was just you gave her the information saying that you have it. Said, well, you know what? So why don't you go ahead and take the lipsticks home with you today that we showed you? And then that way you can continue with this look beyond the photo shoot.
Okay. That's a good. Okay.
Right? The same concept. So, it's one thing to tell a person, I have this. It's another thing to say, I have it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or I can order it for you because I can order it too.
yeah, I can order it for you and it'll be here by the time you come back to get your pictures. Or if you have it there, or I've got this one here, that you can take home today. And I know that tomorrow you're going to want to be able to create the same look that you have today, right? What's she gonna say? No, I really want to look dull like I was before. No, she's not gonna say that. Right?
Right. Okay. And then
so it's really just a matter of how you present it. Okay. And it goes back to that whole thing, whether you feel like you're selling or whether you feel like you're sharing. It's a lot easier to share than it is to sell. So it's a matter of saying, these colors, you like these colors, right? They look amazing on you. Okay, well, why don't you take them home with you today so that you can create the same look tomorrow? Guess what? She probably will say, okay.
Okay.
Or
right.
How much is it?
Mhm.
And then that's at the point where, you say, well, you know what, because you've come and done, I'll give you a special. Normally they say sell for $20, but tell you what I'll do is, if you want to get both of them, I'll give you, when you buy one, I'll give you 10% off the second one. How does that work for you today?
Got it. Okay.
Is that cash or charge?
And now, a quick question, if you do the affiliate link thing, how much commission do we get off of affiliate link?
30%, the same thing that you get if you sell a product, sell anything online and are active.
Okay, but if somebody goes to the CMB website, like my friend that wants to look at everything again, I sent you an email. It's like they're gonna say 30% off your first order, then I get like really no commission. I would get like no
No,
commission.
no.
Very little.
Wrong answer, wrong answer.
No?
The customer can use a promo code that you give her and save 30%. And you, as long as you're active, will still get paid your 30% on that sale. But you're gonna, so the customer wins and you win as the consultant because you've referred her to shop with you. So don't look at, it's 30% on the table. So do I get it or the customer? No, we both get it. So that's the beauty of the online shopping, is that you're able to share the promo codes with your client and have them save, which will get them more excited about continuing to come back and buy from you. And you get your 30%.
So if the sale is $214 and they're gonna get their little pop-up window goes, hey, get 30% off your first
That's right,
order.
they'll get 30% off of the 214.
And
And then whatever that nets down to, you're gonna get 30% of what she pays. So 214 less 30%. Matter of fact, she would be able to get 35% if you, because so that's where you come in as a consultant. So the pop-up thing comes up and says 30 because they want to get her email address, but you would say, you know what, I can do better than that. I'm going to give you the promo code SPRING. Just put that in, put my name in at the end, and she's going to only pay $139.10. And
Right.
then you're going to turn around and get 30% off of the 139. So you're going to make $41.71 on that sale.
Right, but if I would have done it straight out, I would have made $67 or something.
What do you
like
mean straight out?
that. Okay, so if I go and buy it, if I go buy the product,
As a consultant?
yeah, if I buy it as a
Okay.
consultant, I get whatever and use the 700 code, 700 yada yada code. I get 35% off, and then I could ship it to that person, but then have them pay me for whatever I want to mark it up to.
That's a whole lot of trouble.
That's the other way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you
Okay.
could do that if you want to. But to me, it's a
Got it.
cleaner. I'd rather just go ahead and have the product shipped directly to her and get my 30%.
Right, but no, I can have it direct. Yeah, but I can have it shipped to them too from that site.
Yeah, you could do that.
And then the other
Okay.
thing is, so when it gets shipped to them, let's say I buy it as a consultant, I'm paying for it. I have it shipped to them without having them send the emails. Do they get the invoice with the breakdown of how much everything costs?
They sure will.
Okay, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the thing that you have to, I do have, there's a consultant that has like an online
Mhm.
beauty supply store. So what she does, she has the customer, she charges the customer in
Mhm.
advance, charges them what, regular retail. And
Right.
then she has what she'll do is she'll order the product,
Mhm.
and she adds something in there that gets it close to what they paid for her. So the customer's actually getting a bonus,
Mhm.
but she still has made more money because she charged the customer for shipping, but the customer's gonna actually get free shipping from us going from there. So she's got it figured out in a way. So you have to work with it, but it requires some juggling to be able to do it, but you can do it. But the customer, if you're shipping direct to the customer is going to get these packing slip that shows what the retail price is. So if she has paid you $30 for something and she's going to see that it was only $22. So yeah.
So sounds like the affiliate link might be the better solution then in this scenario. Would it?
Well, the affiliate link is always an option, but you can also have the customer, as long as the customer, you want to get the customer registered as quickly as possible, ideally on the first sale. So even if the person uses your affiliate link, you want to have her to sign in, use her email address. So she's shopping with you, is already connected to you, but it's nothing wrong with her still putting your name in when she shops, because you had a relationship with her. See, the affiliate link, just in and of itself is a tool that works really well when you're dealing with people that you really don't have a relationship with, that you can't tell them to put your name in it, but you want to make sure you get credit for the sale. But if you've got a relationship with them and you have worked with them and they're your client, I would still ask them to register, because what I want for you and what I want for me is that customer shops that first time, and then she is connected to me as long as I'm doing the business.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. So what's your struggle in closing? Anybody? All you all are master closers. That's good. So we can say goodnight then. Okay, unmute. Antoinette, iPhone, Florence. Let me get everybody on here so we can see.
Sharon,
Yes.
I don't know who that was
That was
speaking.
Marie.
Marie,
Mhm.
I kind of get what she's saying. Like in my situation where at my job, I use Color Me Beautiful and Flory, and if the person likes the color, they love it and they rave about it. I always have cards on me with my affiliate link. I write the name of the color. I might even swatch it on the back of the card and say, if you want to get this, here's how you get it. And it's my link. And they may be in California, leave Pittsburgh, I never see them again, but they have my card with the color and my affiliate link on it. And sometimes sales pop up that I didn't even know the people bought, but I just always hand them a card with the name of the product on it so that they can get it when they leave me. If like she's saying, she feels awkward because she's there as the photographer. Like you're not wanting to sell the lipstick, but if you just had, I wasn't clear if she was in your studio, Marie, or if you were on set somewhere else.
No, she was in my studio.
Okay, and you had the product right there. So that's different than what I do. I don't have retail on my job, but I have the product to use. And oftentimes, just like you, I put the right color on somebody and they just light up, and I'll write it down and just hand them a card as they go with that information on it.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, I don't have cards made up with that though.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm seeing
even
in the
a
chat,
separate card. Yeah.
I'm seeing in the chat that yes, Antoinette, this is being recorded tonight. I made a mistake and didn't record the last one, but we'll get back to it soon. Dahlia says that she's an analytic when it comes to her selling style. So that's good, Dahlia. You just have to make sure that you don't analyze so much that the person is falling asleep while you're sitting there doing a consultation. Okay, Sharon, I have been doing appointments on my deck, but am ready to see vaccinated clients, yes, in my home now that I am past 2 weeks. So yes, that's right. And I'm doing the same thing. I got a client, I'm doing a wedding anniversary makeover for a photo shoot, and we both are vaccinated, but I'm still gonna have my mask on. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Still have a mask on. COVID has changed how we think. Ooh,
Oh, yep. No, that's right, Sharon.
okay. And Mike Broken, Antoinette said, thank you. Okay. I haven't determined which closer I am yet. So, but you know what, Florence, it's probably more important for you to understand the dynamics of the people you're dealing with more so than your style, because your client is more important that you meet her where she is than she meet you. Okay. I probably am a combination of all of them, but I probably am more of the dynamic person, because I go straight for the jugular vein when it comes to closing. But at the same time, I want to build relationships, and I do build relationships because, the whole thing, while I'm talking to them, I'm sorry, I had no idea. While I'm having my conversation with them, that's my dad calling. While I'm talking to them, I'm making them like me, because remember we said I want them to trust me and I want them to like me. So if they like me, they listen to me, and they were like, ooh, so that first encounter, whatever I do for them. And again, it's different when you're doing events where you're out on the floor and you really, I call it just sophisticated hustling, because that's what we're doing. But, when you're doing a one-on-one in your home, you can, you can have a more, laid back, kind of at home kind of feel. It's not as much of the hustle involved as it is when you're out, doing an event where you've paid, hundreds or, $1,000 to be able to rent that booth, and you want to make your money back. So, and I love that environment, but, at the same time, it's really important that you pick up very quickly on the person that you're dealing with. That's really key, Florence. So it's good for you to know. And in Florence, you want to know how to get an affiliate link. You need to colormebeautiful.tapaffiliate is the website. And if you send me a email at sboone@colorme.com, I can send you the link to make sure that you get to the right thing. Okay. And okay, Marie had to leave, and let's see what else. Thank you. I had to leave, get on Zoom. And okay, so yeah, so anybody struggling with anything before we get off? In terms of closing, what are you struggling with? Do you have a hard time with objections? Because see, I don't care. If people tell me, they can tell me they're using 50 million products. And I say, that's great. That's a great brand. I used to use that product a long time ago. I'm just, I don't care, because I am confident enough, and you have to be confident enough that your products can stand up against anybody that's out there. If you're not confident to do that, then you may need to think about what you're selling. Capiche? All right, y'all unmute so we can talk. Hold on, and we're gonna get off in 5 minutes. Let's see. Objections would be my issue. Yeah, so objections are real, okay? But don't look at objections as a deal breaker, okay? What you find out what are they objecting to? Well, I use Mac. Well, you know what? Let's just do the Mac test. You keep your Mac on one side of your face. Let me show you mine, and you decide. If you decide that you want to stick with Mac, I will celebrate you. But I have so many clients that have switched from Mac and Bobbi Brown because they like the finish, the flawless finish that I can give them, and it looks so natural. So you choose. I use Estee Lauder. Oh, girl, I love Estee Lauder, great brand. But let me show you what my products can do next to Estee Lauder. Everything that you have is worth you feeling confident of competing against anything. I don't care who it is. Chanel, La Mer, you name it. I got something that can stand up against it. Different price point will give you the same results.
True.
So if you're not sold on it, then objections will set you back. Okay. So that's whatever you have to get to the point where you're a product of the product, and you are confident in the products to the point that you're not bothered by objections. Okay. Objections, if you succumb to objections, you don't believe in your product. And if the person is that convinced of her product, you know what, girl, I love you. Give me some of your friends' phone numbers. Let me call them. That's what, and you know what? And I'm so glad we had a chance to meet. Give me your email address so I can stay in contact with you, and give me the names and the email addresses of some of your friends.
Right.
And you never know. And some of the hardest core people may turn around. And guess what? You have to recognize when the end is the end. I'm not, I am a firm believer that you talk about what's great about what you have and all that, but then if a person really is sold on the products, that's fine. And I tell girl, you look good, but give me some of your friends' name. You got anybody that give me the number? And that's it. Done. I love you. I'm so glad you came, and it was such a pleasure to meet you.
Right, right.
And that's it. And next. So, but objections, you do have to kind of build up an immunity, just like the COVID vaccine. you gotta build up some antibodies. Okay. You gotta build up some antibodies against the naysayers.
You too funny, Carrie. You
Okay.
have me cracking up.
And say, you know what? I've got a beauty shot for you. I got a beauty vaccine for you.
Oh, come on, girl. You know you said that.
I'm just saying. So,
Right.
but you just have to, you just don't allow anybody to make you feel that what you have is less than. You have to be that confident in the products you have. And that will grow over time. If you're a newbie and you really haven't gotten there yet, that's okay. The more you use the product, the more you see people having success with it, the more you see it working for you, you're going to be confident with that as well. Okay. And so the thing is, and sometimes you have to recognize that particular customer won't be yours right now, but she may come around if that's where she is. But you cannot let another brand or another person that's in the business intimidate you. Because I believe that the products speak for themselves.
True. Sharon, can I add something?
Sure.
With objections, I've been telling my team members and even people that aren't on my team, just other consultants, reach out to your sponsor or somebody who is doing well. If you don't know the product that well, or you're upset with out of stock items and you don't know how, talk to someone who is doing well. Your sponsor, reach out on Color Me Direct. We dialogue back and forth. Has anybody used this? Well, what about that? Well, what's a good substitute for this? And then you learn the products and you learn how to overcome some of those objections just by, offering a substitute.
Yeah. And you know what? Out of stocks don't bother me the least bit. The only reason why you should be bothered by out of stocks is if you promote them and you don't have them to sell. Okay?
Right.
But other than that, I'm gonna find a replacement. So once you see an item go on out of stock list, don't get all bent out of shape. Yes, the customer is gonna come and ask for it. And she may not want to substitute it with anything else. That's okay. But you say to her, you know what? As soon as it comes in, okay, I'll give you a call, and I'm going to make sure that I give you a little sample or something to go with it, because I appreciate you just hanging in there with me, because you just one of my best customers.
Right.
That's it. Done.
Right.
And I love you. I love you so much. You just, you shower with love.
And I tell them too, it's a good problem to have. The products are that
It
good that
is.
they're selling out.
Absolutely is.
If they weren't good, we wouldn't be sold out.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Good
So
point.
good answer. Good answer, Linda. Good answer. Okay, so it's 9:14. It's beauty sleep time. And it's been real. I love you guys. And do not be intimidated by objections, or don't even be afraid of intimidated by the word no, because no just means not right now. That's all it is. It's not a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of your product. They're just not ready right now. Okay. And you find somebody else that will say yes. But if you never hear no, you'll never hear a yes. Trust me on that. So you guys stay strong, get vaccinated with 2 vaccines, okay? And stay beautiful. I love you.
Okay.
And I celebrate you. And remember, when you close the sale strong, you get deposits in your PayPal accounts. Okay? All right, so you guys have a great evening, get some rest and find some new customers. That's the
All
order
right,
of
you
the
do
day.
the same.
All right,
We'll see-
bye
we'll
now.
talk to you
Good
next
night.
week.
Okay,
night.
Good night.
bye-bye.
Sharon.
Yes,
Thanks.
you're welcome. Let me make sure I didn't miss a chat. Somebody said something. Okay, everybody saying good night. Okay,
Good night.
bye-bye.